What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay. Tonight, I am very happy to present Hustlebee and Hustler Hacks. Why don't you guys say hello, Glenn?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hustler Hacks, and yeah, pretty interesting topic today. So I'm kind of pumped.
Awesome. Hustlebee, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Fun to be here. I'm excited. I was just looking at the photos that we met the first time back in Chicago, and it's it's been over 6 months now, and it's our first time to be on a live together.
I know, I can't believe we haven't been on a live together. We'll have to do more shows and collaborate more. And that's basically today's topic. We're going to go over how social media, branding, personal brand, merch, eBay, it's all tied together. It's all part of your personal brand, especially in 2018. It's an opportunity. I feel like all ships rise with the tide. You know, as you grow, you meet more people, your tips and tricks improve, your networking, your sourcing, everything is all tied together. What are your initial thoughts, Glenn?
Yeah, there's a lot that just goes into it. I mean, if you're posting on like Instagram and then YouTube and then your own personal life and how you're gonna divide both of that too, family time. I think it is a tough balance, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I like just getting into like every single thing I can.
Mm-hmm. And Ken?
I mean, definitely. I think, like Glenn said, it's a balance, but I mean, it's balanced. It seems balanced to us, but for some other people looking at it, it might seem imbalanced. So I guess it's really just figuring out where that threshold for you personally, with me and my wife, what's our time together, our relationship building together. It's just that's the balance I feel like, and I think that everybody should consider that each person's balance is going to be different.
Absolutely. And I think nowadays everything is so unprivate. You know, you can find out people are going. People have their LinkedIn. You can look up their company past. You can look up where they work, what they do. You can look at their store, Instagram. You can see what they had for dinner. It's crazy. Everyone is sharing everything about their whole lives. Also, guys, thank you for stopping by. Please hit the like button. We are going to give away an eBay lunchbox today. It is insulated. I was going to ship some ice cream to you guys, but for sure it would not make it. It's more for like sandwiches or keeping fruit cool or warm for the day. So we'll give away that a little bit later in the chat. Appreciate you guys stopping by. But again, everything is related and lots of opportunities pop up from, just networking with people. We actually met literally in Chicago. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. That whole Chicago thing was like, I think we met when we went to, was it like a rooftop thing? I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, rooftop bar.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Just meeting like people for the first time and then just kind of like networking from there. And I think that's the first time I think I met Ken too, because we went picked me up from the airport and we just already start to go to stores and stuff.
For sure. And you guys, I think you met Reezy for the first time. Reezy Resells.
Yeah, Reezy was there. And basically the whole reseller fam crew. We met Emma there. I mean, just everybody was there. And then just the next day with the reseller rally, it's just I think like I keep telling Glenn, like the Chicago trip was like very pivotal to everyone because we met everybody, and and then from there I think it just kind of solidified how we were communicating with each other, just became friends. I mean, on and off social media after that.
No, it is insane when you meet people in person. I mean, online media or social media is a little strange. Like it's used to be people had 30 real life friends. Now you can have 1,000 friends you've never met, you've never seen. I was the president of my high school, and I've gotten requests like, I don't need to do a reunion. I could just see what you guys are doing on Facebook. And I'm like, that's not the same thing. It's totally different. It's like the highlight reel. Like you can't see what people are actually up to. It's a little strange, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think they want to like just kind of like stalk people and like roam in the background, just see what people are up to. That's good enough for most people.
For sure. I will say though, you guys are very similar in person as you are online. So it is hard to be the same person. I'm a little bit more shy, I think, in person, but we're all we're out there. It was great to finally meet you guys. I met Ken. Is it only that one time I met both of you? I feel like
Yeah.
we've met before. Okay.
That one time. It feels like we've met a lot of times, but we've definitely done a lot of calls together, cell phone calls, and video calls together. So I guess just that one time you meet up, I guess it's just something that this guy is the same person. This guy is not just a digital image. So I think it reinforced the fact that we're real people and we're not trying to scam each other or something.
I feel like Hangouts is relatively new. Have you guys used like group talking software before? I didn't use it too much before reselling.
Yeah, not really. It's mostly just I'll go live and then I'll have Ken. Other than that, like we haven't really done anything outside of that. But I think like kind of like what you were talking about, I took that as like one of the biggest compliments because I remember when I went to Phoenix, I remember people were like, I feel like I already know you because I watch you. But then when I met you, you were the same guy because they've met other people that are just like totally different in real life.
For
and
sure.
I think when you're true to yourself, it's totally different when people meet you because now they're like, okay, cool. Like he really is this dude. He's not really like, you know, some other, I don't know, wannabe huge dude with a massive.
I mean, we're not trying to act anything. No, we're not trying to act
it's true.
online.
It's true. And you can see everything everyone does. And I think now it's really hard to be fake, really, because you get found out pretty quickly. Got to shout out Wade's Ventures for the super chat of $20. Thank you, Wade. Wade is throwing dollar bills out. He's doing awesome. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, Wade's Ventures, you should. It is awesome. We're going to do a little more collaborations in the future, too. Again, this is all this incredible thing called social media where you can team up with other people and grow.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to Portland in February, so we're excited to meet up with Wade. So that's going to be something different.
No,
finally meet
wow.
someone.
No, I might have to come up. I haven't met Wade yet. Wade is awesome. He's been supporting my channel since the beginning, and I think guys, I think the most important and quickest way to level up any type of game, eBay, social media, branding, all that stuff is just collaboration. You know, I am extremely fortunate. I think in my first 5 months on YouTube, I was on or interviewed 50 different people. So and now it's over 100. So it's like meeting different people, finding out what's good for them, what's working, what's not. And I really want to take a second here to shout out Ken and Glenn. Like they took actually some time out of their day a couple of weeks ago to check in on me to see how I'm doing outside of the social media, outside of the eBay, outside of all of this, just to see how I was doing personally. And, you know, like that's intense. Like my actual friends in real life don't do that. So, I mean, it's really powerful to go out there and check people. You know, like if people are on social media, they may be trying to educate or help or whatever. But once in a while, take a second, ask people how they're doing. And one lesson that I've learned is if someone's having a bad day, you can usually tell. So maybe reach out and see how people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add more to that. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, social media is allowing everybody to have shallower friends. It can be shallow if you allow it to. But for example, like a few people were actually DM'd me. There were like a few days that I wasn't able to post a lot like I usually do. And they said, hey, Ken, everything all right? We noticed you haven't gone live. We noticed that you haven't posted anything yet. And for me, that meant a lot. So, you know, when things aren't usually the things that we see, you know, that's why Glenn called me up that day and said like, hey, how's Chris doing? Let's call him up. You know, let's set up a video call with him and just see how he's doing as Chris. Not us 10K on the Bay, because sometimes, you know, social media can be harmful if you allow it to. So could allow, I mean, you could let social media to box you in as just the brand. But if you open yourself up as a person, then, you know, it becomes deeper than just, you know, Instagram friends.
For sure. And, you know, investigate, always ask people questions, comment, DM them. That's how you build a relationship on social media and then carry it onto real life. So, you know, like if people ask me how they should get started with personal branding, And it really is just commenting. The way I got on everyone's channel was just being involved. You know, I would ask, when do you go to the post office? Before work, after work? Do you have a job? Are you full time? How many kids do you have? What do you do for fun? What are you wearing? All these things matter. So you can figure out how to get to know them, what kind of ice cream they like. I would have never found out about Skinny Cow ice cream, which I just enjoyed before the chat, unless I actually networked. So it's all about learning those level ups. Ice cream is important, guys. You only live once.
For sure.
And I think if you want to build a personal brand too, I also look at like the value standpoint. I remember there was a time, let's see, I think I just started out on YouTube and maybe I had like less than like 2,000 subscribers, I think. And I remember Rake and Profit, he had like a logo that he got off of like Fiverr or something. And I was like, I'm going to reach out to him and I'm going to offer him a free logo to give value. So if you give value first, I mean, I didn't expect anything in return, but if it happened, I think that's cool. Now I can kind of leverage that a little bit and build off of that. So I remember I asked him like, hey, can I build you a logo? I noticed the one you got off of Fiverr. I didn't tell him it was crappy, but of course I thought it was. And then he was like, yeah, cool. And I made one and then he ended up using it. And he's like, you know what? Let me interview you about graphic design and blah, blah, blah. And that was kind of like a really like cool thing to kind of like bring me in and interview me. And then that got me to get some traction going on my channel. So I always look at it as like, how can I give value first? And then that value also come back to you. And then you can, you know, build off of that.
No, that is super powerful. I flew to Amazon ASD to meet Rake and Profit and the Green Room people. And I think that's where I met you, Glenn, originally in the Green Room. So like it is a small world out there. You get to meet people and taking the time. I have never regretted taking the time to go meet with somebody for any reason. I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to have coffee with a reseller yesterday. It was awesome. She was telling me how she's retired and she's entering the game. So I literally talked to someone who just retired, and then you know, also in the same day, talked to a 13-year-old reseller. That's like, I do my homework and then I list 10 items and then I sign up for the Yeezy list. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like so advanced across all levels now. You see kids and you know, I met a 13-year-old and I asked, how do you price? And he's like, well, in person, 60% of eBay. And I'm like, what? So they've already, you know, cost benefited which platforms. They're already multi-platform at a young age. And I think that that's insane.
Yep.
Wow, it is next week. Time flies. You guys are going to be here in a minute.
Yeah, we'll be here next week. And yeah, we're excited about that. I mean, again, that's another, you know, we talked about collaborations and not just you know, online or video, but in person. If you actually structure it right, I mean, it is a business trip. It is a write-off, and we're actually going to be hustling there. So, you know, worst case scenario, we'll, you know, like as far as people saying that it's going to be expensive, da, da, da. I mean, if you actually source while you're there, I mean, me and Glenn has done a 2-out hustle already, and we've never lost money. You know, worst case scenario was really breaking even, or at least making a little bit more. So at the end of the day, you actually gain more relationship with people while actually doing eBay. So that's the beauty of what we do.
This is so important. You don't even have to buy anything. For example, I bought Jake, who's also in the Green Room, Jake Odell. When I started reselling, I'm like, hey, can I buy you breakfast? I went down with him. I bought him breakfast. So I bought pancakes. We went to Salvation Army in Goodwill. He showed me what he buys. He showed me how to use gift cards. It was like a $500 lesson in e-commerce for the price of pancakes. So I didn't even, and he literally told me, don't buy anything. Watch how I do it. You try to do stuff and I'll show you what I'm looking for, how to spot defects, how to get the best deal, how to take advantage of half off day. Like I just leveled up like 10 levels for pancakes. Like it's totally worth it, even if you don't source. But if you source, even better.
Yeah, we had, I think in Phoenix, it was like just like a whole meetup and like giving back in general. I remember when we went, me and my wife, and then we met everybody at the Nike outlet at the time. And Green Granny Resale, she watches our show on Wednesdays. she was like, "Oh, it's good to meet you," and gave me like a huge hug, and like met my wife, and then she like went to go buy my wife like Starbucks or something, and I was like, "What?" And they just like took off, and then like hanging out, and then later on we had the meetup, and then Jeff, who's Soupies, which he also like we talked to him a lot too, and he was like, "Hey, let me buy you lunch," and I was like, "No, you don't have to buy me anything." He's like, "Yeah, yeah, let me buy you lunch." I was like, "Okay," and then at the meetup, I gave away like 10 gift cards for like Ross, and then I was giving back, so just kind of like all the way around, like everyone just kind of like helping each other out and giving out info, and it's pretty cool.
No, that's definitely awesome. We have, people, resellers donating all kinds of different things. I've seen printers going out to people or have no inventory. People are saying, hey, let's send you some to get started. Let me help you list your first item. Let me teach you how to send an FBA shipment. And I think right now, we're not complacent enough, or at least me, I don't feel comfortable only doing one platform. eBay is my main platform, but as long as I can maintain it, I'm learning different ones and adjusting. But I feel like it's dangerous almost to only work on one thing at a time.
I experienced it. I was suspended for a while, and it freaked me out. But really, it freaked me out. It was a shocker. But at the end of the day, then it opened my eyes to like, man, there's a lot of platform. Like all of a sudden, I started listing at Poshmark, and then there's Mercari. There's all this different platforms that I haven't been ventured to. But I think, I think eBay. You mentioned that you're just trying to start a Poshmark, but that has been always, you know, uh, when you're cross posting to a different platform, it's actually almost doubling up your inventory value, and
Mm-hmm.
could potentially double up your traffic too, of your chances of selling.
Mm-hmm. And I think we are all physical products owners, and it's our job, our duty to find the best platform. Like if something's selling for $40 more on Poshmark, you shouldn't be too lazy to list it on both when you can double up. Also, have you guys met Mary Feel Good Finds yet?
No, not yet.
Not in person. Nope.
Mary is awesome. I met her in person at another event that Reezy Resells and I hosted in Santa Cruz. So, we did a little barbecue and she came and I got to meet Posh Hanger, I got to meet Feel Good Finds. And when you meet people in person, our friendships have grown. Like we've gone on a double date before, and it's just like so nice to meet people in person because reselling can be a lonely profession.
Yeah,
I mean,
you find like people with like-minded, and that's what one of the things with Ken. Like when he first emailed me, he had like different questions about it, and I like to answer everybody, and it might take me like a couple of days sometimes, but like I just don't want to leave anybody hanging because I feel like I don't know, it just you want to reach out to somebody, and then that person just kind of like leaves you there. I'm just kind of like I don't know, that's just not cool, and
I
when
was
Ken.
lucky. Glenn was in the mood to reply.
How many people did you just say you emailed like
I didn't email anybody, man.
oh, okay.
This is the first. That was the first time I ever asked for help, because I was just always the guy that I'll figure this out. I'll figure it's like, oh man, this guy has paid off his student loan. He's doing something different. Out of everybody that I found through the articles and online, and your name popped up as like, man, and then I saw your YouTube channel. You've been doing this for a while, because I saw your hairstyle change just with your just with your YouTube videos. It's like, this guy's done it for a while.
No, and that is the thing. Like, I want you guys to realize if people do not respond right away, it's not because they don't like you or hate you or they're a jerk. Sometimes they're busy. They will get back to you. Like I would say, I hopefully have responded to most people, answering questions for free, however you need help. And actually, like I had turned on, I was trying some store reviews so I could get sort of an idea of how to look at people's stores. And I actually did more than 200 store reviews for free because there are people who are just starting. They're like, look at my first listing. And it's really hard because I love eBay to not help them. It's cool. Their very first listing. That's amazing. and you put something up, you're excited, you hear that first ka-ching, and it's like, who doesn't want to be part of that? And I've seen the wealthier that you see people go up, they still do one-on-one, even though their time is worth thousands of dollars an hour or whatever. Like, they may own a nonprofit charity, but still take the time to have coffee with somebody and just see how they're doing. And they're like, oh, I just made my first lemonade stand sale. And they'll be like, here's sale number 2. They're really there to, take advantage. And when you help people one-on-one, you see the greatest effect. And on social media, sometimes we're producing value content, or we're trying to make the most valuable content we can, and we don't really see the effect. And so when you guys take the time to say thank you to somebody, it goes a long way because they don't really hear it.
Yeah, and it's just really, really cool meeting everybody in person. And I know it's different because there are some shy people that what was one of them that I got? Oh yeah, there's one guy that was like, he followed my channel a lot, left comments almost on every video. And then I'm like, hey, we're gonna have a meetup at blah blah blah, this place. Like, I sent him the email, all of that, and he emailed me back like, I don't know, I'm kind of shy. I don't know if I really want to be around like this many people and everything. Like, it's just a little weird. And I told him, like, you know what? That's cool. Next time, me and you will go eat wings or something. You can hang out and we can talk, business or something. Because I know it is a little weird sometimes, especially if it's the crowd of, I don't know, 25 or 50 people.
Definitely. We have a question in the chat. If can we name 3 people you should follow on Instagram? Do you guys have, or some people? Do you guys want to do a couple each?
Yeah, we could. I mean, I'll start. I mean, the first people that I really followed was, I mean, besides,
I lost you for a second.
everybody follows Watch Me Amazon. The top that on top of my head that I actually did, consume a lot of their content just right off the bat.
So I missed it. You said Watch Me Amazon and
Hustle at Home Mom, Ashley.
Oh, Hustle Home Mom. Yeah, Ashley. Ashley's incredible. And Glenn?
Let me see. I think everyone's first follow is like Gary V.
True.
Yeah,
True,
even
true.
though I'm like, but I kind of like when I follow Gary V, I'm trying to like study more of like what is he doing as far as like getting engagement or his posts or what is he doing strategy wise more than maybe like some of the motivational stuff. So I kind of follow him more, I think, for that. Trying to see like who else I kind of follow that's that's all I can really think of right now. I kind of have to go through it and see like who else I follow a lot.
I tend to follow people who I am currently interested in that specific topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, with eBay, I'm always looking at, let's see, what's a good eBay person that I follow? I definitely follow Lindy Glenn. Lindy Glenn's great. She has a lot of different strategies she does as a parent. And I'm looking, I have a mastermind group of mostly parents, and I don't have any kids myself. So I want to provide value. And the thing people have asked me for on my channel as well is how to parent faster. And I don't really know how to do that. So I'm now following stuff like Bucket List Family, even though they're maybe not a realistic family, but just seeing how people organize their time. And one channel that I always follow is Video Creators. And I really love Tim Schmoyer, has 7 kids. And he's managing all these different projects. And look at him for strategy too. He has 99% of his stuff for free, but then he also charges $700 an hour to talk to him, and directly. So it's like, but hundreds of thousands of people for free, and then 20 people pay $700 an hour. So it's just an interesting, method. And for me, I love DIY. I love strategy. That's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? Ken, wrote the other guy that we follow. He does like YouTube videos that just like talks about strategies on YouTube.
The video influencers.
Yes. Video influencers is great.
Yeah.
Sean, they're pretty cool. I mean, very strategic. Really breaks it down. I mean, you know, when it comes to like affiliate marketing that they talk about, and
Hmm.
you know, like how they try to monetize views and certain things like that. I mean, I am personally I'm interested with tech gear reviews because I'm very interested with techs, just like daily techs, like cell phone
Hmm.
camera, you know, GoPro, certain things like that. Like I could see myself doing that when I'm like when I'm really trying to settle down on how to make things, you know, like how to make certain jigs and some hacks or some kind of like my DIY light box when I made it. It was just you know under $30 budget, something like that. So I think I'm very interested in that. I mean, he
Hmm.
actually shared this guy that all he does was just barbecue, and all of a sudden he start getting sponsors from all like meat shops, you know, all the spices, and now he's getting paid to just you know sponsorship. So that's very interesting to me when you get to a level that that's really when you're doing something that you actually love and it's just fun and you're getting paid with it and actually help people make better barbecue like that guy. So that's very cool for me.
Yeah, and
No,
Roberto Blake's a good one too. He does more of
absolutely.
like like talks and graphic design, tech reviews. So Roberto Blake is cool. Someone said World Star Hip Hop on the chat. And I
Yeah,
think
if you want a good
also
laugh for sure.
yeah, someone also brought up about Gary Vee being repetitive, and me and Ken talked about this at one time on our live show. It's just like with Gary Vee at especially maybe like 2, 3 years ago, I was like, man, like I really like Gary Vee's content and everything that he was doing. And you kind of like cheered for him because like his message and everything. And at this point, me and Ken were talking about like Gary Vee is not really relatable anymore at this point. Like like every time he's in the office, I don't watch any of those videos anymore. Um, and especially a lot of the motivational stuff that's kind of like the same, very repetitive. But I think once you start having these big time celebrities like on your show and stuff, I'm like, yeah, Gary's like on a totally different level now to where can't
Yeah,
really even
and I
like relate.
on the other end too, because like I mean, you're past that. How can I start moment, you know? And I think Gary Vee's message really is like just getting you out of that cycle. I think his message is really breaking out of that cycle. And once you're, you actually have a different perspective. And then once you have a different perspective, it's it's definitely different anymore. I mean, you tend to dissect more different content. Like me and Glenn have been consuming uh, Leap First by Seth Godin, doing work that matters. Different things, try to and work out your brain.
Yeah, I think one of the like pet peeves that I have is like when Gary like interrupts the speakers. Like you had like Seth Godin on there, and like he's trying to talk, and then Gary just like interrupts him. I'm like, dude, just let him finish. Like I want to see what
Yeah,
he said.
that one time because Seth Godin, I think they're very close. Seth Godin was like, "I'm ready to walk out,"
He
and
was going to be the first guest to walk off the
yeah,
show.
right, and he was Gary was challenging, and Seth was like, "I'm not joking."
No, because and he gets super excited, but he does interrupt people, and he's got a very strong personality. And it is interesting. I would say that the practical stuff that Gary Vee gives is really good. Like, for example, you don't realize how big audio is. This is a huge thing, guys. Um, even me, like, I didn't realize that you need to upload the highest quality audio you can because people listen to you when they're driving. People listen to you when you're walking around. Multitasking is real. Everyone listens to stuff 24/7, and you want to be clear, crispy, and get in the be a positive influence. And that on that same note, I want to just point out you don't realize how many people you're reaching, even if you feel like you have a small audience. It magnifies. So it's a good, be cognizant and be aware that to be positive if you can. But I really recently I say I've been relating to Gary Vee's positivity always wins in the long run, because it's just overall you want to be branded that.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Uh, no, Reezy wanted to do an event with Gary V, and we're like, I don't have 100 stacks. How can we get him to come? He's so big now. He's not like maybe before, but now it's like every single day is a new celebrity.
Oh yeah, it's out of control at this point.
Let's see, it's crazy. And then, oh yeah, I gotta shout out Jake. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. But yeah, as far as the lifestyle integration is super important these days because new opportunities come from meeting different people. Like for example, Rally Roots was mentioned a few times in the chat, and they do subtle investing, and they're learning, and they travel a lot. And then my girlfriend was like, I want to travel 8 weeks a year. We travel maybe 5 weeks a year, and we looked at it and we're like, yeah, but we also decided we're never going to travel more than that, and we want to work 8 weeks or 8 months of the year as hard as we can forever. We don't have any type of thing, even if somebody had mentioned you need to do charity work. So we couldn't figure out where to go. So on Thanksgiving, we went to a Black Baptist church, and we were the only Asians there, and trying to figure out what to do. And it was literally like on TV. People were singing gospel music. It was crazy awesome. And they're like, yeah, we've never had Asian people come here and volunteer. And we were in the kitchen, and they're like, slow down. We don't need to be that efficient. There's only so many people, because we're like, hey, let's fix this. Let's make this go faster. And they're like, we're only feeding 20 homeless people. Relax. So it was just a lot of fun being in that community. But you don't know. You're not exposed to that. You don't see it unless you're online and you see people doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I really love your the interview with Rally Roots, because I follow them too, and there's a big part of them that I want to model too. That I mean, they're more stable financially now. Like they've paid off their house and everything like that. And I really want to get to that point. And then now it's just a matter of point and just kind of like laying out a plan, because I mean, I want to travel too. That's how we moved here to the U.S. We just want to see more of the world between me and my wife. I mean, we heavily considered moving to Australia, but U.S. just made more sense because we had, more people that we know here. I might move to Australia, but knowing that their eBay shipping is expensive there, I might not move. I might not move there. I'll just visit Australia. So,
You gotta do a debt-free hustle bee scream, says college picker CP Eric.
yeah, dude. Yeah, debt free is the way to go. I mean, I don't have much debt, just credit card debts, but it's still bugging me because it's really holding you back in certain ways. And for me to be, I mean, I still have to build my credit because I haven't been, I've only been here for 4 years now. Me and my wife didn't really have any full-time job. I mean, like a long history of full-time job. So that's why, like, it's very like kind of like I know what to do, but it's just a matter of it just needs to take time and cycle through. So a big part of it is just the patience game and waiting for that perfect time. That just right now, just put your head down and just work and hustle and give it all you got.
I have one more thought on that, which is there's a big difference between minimalism and being broke. Like you want to be minimalist. Of course, I think it's good to be debt free, not have a lot of overhead. Like, if you think about how much work it is to deal, like I'm in California right now, figuring like the average home here is like $900K. So trying to figure out how to balance this is difficult. There's a lot of people downsizing. Like the minimalist lifestyle with having not a lot of debt or no debt and low overhead is huge. It gives you more options. So I really like the idea of living frugally, living well below your means. And like also on social media, we met Tech and Sports, who has been making nearly a 7-figure income for a decade and did not upgrade his lifestyle. I was like, wow, can you imagine making almost $1 million a year and not upgrading your lifestyle for a decade? And that's just incredible.
It's dedication right there.
Dedication right there. And also to the point where his rental income was more than his bills. All the rental properties paid off. That's insane. So
right.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I think I moved out maybe only like 2.5 years ago. Like I milked it with the parents for as long as I possibly could. because I was like, I can't afford to buy a house or to do any of this other stuff that I want to do, but I have to work my way up there. And so while I had other friends that got an apartment, they could chill, hang out, invite people over, drink, or have parties. I was like, that's not really where I'm trying to go. Like, I want to eventually have my own house and do my own thing. I was like, I'm just gonna milk it here and and like, try to build up and well, first get rid of the debt, then build up, save, and then try to get something of my own. But you kind of have to like, I guess, swallow that pride of not being cool and not being able to, have an apartment and do all that. So yeah, that's what I did for the longest time.
I wish I did that. I did the opposite. I had a severe FOMO. So as soon as I could leave the home, I was like, I'm traveling, I'm doing everything, I'm buying everything, and I do not recommend doing that because I think you should spend your entire 20s working on your skills, in my opinion. If I was going to redo it, I like Gary Vee's advice of punting your 20s.
Right.
I will say, though, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 23. I went to the University of Utah and I studied entrepreneurship. And at graduation, the speaker said, I wish 10 years of horrible failure upon all of you, because if not, you're going to be a jerk. If your first couple of businesses works, no one's going to like you because you're going to be super arrogant. And then second of all, to really solve the world's problems, you need a lot of failure under your belt because there's a lot of challenges out there. So I hope you guys fail for the next 10 years consecutively and have a painful through the thorns existence, and then you'll come out and you'll be great entrepreneurs at the end of that. And it was really weird advice, but we took it. We understood what he was trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's just the moment I moved here, that's when I really realized I need to put my head down because early, I mean, I started when I was 16, but when I was 16 from until I was like 21 or yeah, like that 5 years, I was like I hit a lot of good home runs in the businesses that I did, but I was always cashing out. I would buy a car, I would travel too extravagant. I would pay for yeah, I was just it was just too extravagant for me. Now I'm looking back at it as like, man, where did all money came from? I mean, went, and then I'm left with just a few cars that depreciated a lot that, I mean, that really didn't value much when I wanted to think. So I mean, just the better planning that it shit until forget everything until you're 29 and then wake up at 29 and say like I've done all this job. I mean Gary V did it. He did it like a thousand episodes of library of wine because that's what he worked in. Man, you gotta master some skill there. I mean, that's just props. I mean, me and Glenn were talking about our plans without hustle. Like we're comparing to Gary Vee, how he's like trying to move and how he's trying to promote everything. And all of a sudden, we just laugh like, Glenn, we're still on out hustle too. Out Gary before Daily V, Gary did 1,000 episodes on wine already.
No, and that's the practice that I think is important, to recognize that you can pick and choose, right? It's a cafeteria. All the social media, you can take what you like, you take what you don't like, and just make your own person. You're the average of the 5 people around you, or really the traits you pick from the people you like, and just pick and choose.
Yeah, there's like a big time waste of money, I think, in our 20s. I remember I put like a body kit on my car, like during that time where like Fast and Furious was kind of cool. I put like a body kit on my car and I like repainted it. I did all this stuff. Body kit lasted like a couple of months before it started falling apart. I bought like rims and like just like dumb stuff that's like when you look back at it, it's like pretty stupid. And then even though it took me like I don't know how long to try to save up, working at like trying to make minimum, working to try to like do this kind of stuff, but really you could use that money later on to get something that you could really build up and enjoy. So things like that happen, but I think college is like a totally different game too, because I remember during college time I would just like spend money on dumb stuff, and they're like the perfect target for like student loans to get into that, because you're like 18, 19, you don't really know what to do. Your parents are telling you like, hey, go to school, it's like the most important thing, you're gonna get the best job ever. And then you get into there and you're like, oh man, like what's going on? And then once you're out of school, I'm like, now I have all this like student loans, like what I'm gonna do now? And I was at that point too, to where I think it took me like, I think I needed a couple more classes. I was already like 4.5 years in. And so I was like, man, when am I going to get out of here? And dropping out of classes at one point too, I was like, that's a huge waste of time that I could have just been doing something else.
Yeah, I mean, also just want to answer. I mean, I've seen a lot of people get to things. I mean, feels that for them. And I mean, yeah, see, that gets intense, but I think a lot of his framework and concepts are very similar to Seth Godin. I typed it up in the chat. If you guys would like to follow, he's amazing. And the other one too is I shared this to Chris, is Brene Brown. Did you have a chance of listening to her?
I have.
Yeah, and she's very mellow, and but she still have the fire in her, and a lot of very proven concept.
I really have to go and meet N2 Goods, both you and your wife. If I should come down to LA, I think it's on Thursday. I'll have to see if I can squeeze that in. But I do want to give away this eBay lunchbox while we have everybody in the chat. So make sure you like it, and I'm going to type in the chat that we're going to do a lunchbox giveaway, and I need you guys to guess a number between 1 and 11, and it's written on this piece of paper, and the first person to guess it will win. So number between 1 and 11, eBay lunchbox. Email me at 10kinthabay@gmail.com, and I will send it to you. So everyone will see the first person to do it will win a lunchbox. Hopefully the chat goes crazy. We'll see.
It is going crazy. It's like random answers.
Crazy already.
You can't guess every number at once. At least it has to be separate, Wade.
Right. What's the number?
It's between 1 and 11.
10.
I think it's 7.
Coop Thrifts. Is it 10?
Holy crap.
It's
10. I didn't see it.
Andrea Larson? Andrea Larson?
Yeah, Andrea Larson. I think it's Andrea Larson.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, it took a while for somebody to guess 10.
Wow,
every number.
Such a lag. It is crazy. So, Andrea, email me, 10kinthabay@gmail.com, and we will send this out. Appreciate everyone entering. And yes, I'm trying to convince eBay to give us all a bag of swag to give out. And it's really important. We're trying to do our best to grow the platform. I don't know, eBay is one of my favorite platforms. I love it.
Too. I mean, I know we've had a lot of off-air talks together, but anything we can do to push eBay forward, I mean, we're willing to do it. I mean, it's fun. The platform is fun. The different people that communicate with, counter offers, lowball offers, funny stories. It's there.
Yeah, I think eBay too. Especially when I get the questions like Amazon FBA or merch or eBay, I definitely think eBay is probably the easiest one to kind of like get into, to start selling now, to make money now. And if you're looking on something like YouTube, blog, private label, that stuff, I mean, yeah, I think you're thinking more of like long term to make money down the road. Like it's going to take some time, effort to figure it out. But I think eBay is probably one where you can jump right in, spend low money, let's say at the thrifts, garage sales, and then you can start making money, that week.
No, and it's one of the few businesses that you can start with no money. You can just sell the stuff around your house. I recommend you sell everything you own. Why not? You can always buy it back on eBay. So just the clothes you're wearing, keep that. Get everything, sell your toaster just to get some experience, because you may have a passion for toasters that you don't know about until you enter. And yeah, I really enjoy the right amount of browning on toast. And that's important to me. And there are other people out there, and you'll learn stuff like the bottom rack of a dishwasher is sometimes worth as much as the dishwasher pre-owned, because people broke that and they need it again, and that's the only piece they need.
Yep. And what I don't think we really talked about what everyone else sells on. Like,
Let's talk about that.
yeah. I guess with you, Chris, like, I mean, obviously we know eBay, but have you ever tried any of the other ones, like private label or?
I haven't tried private label yet. I ordered some stuff from AliExpress to learn, and obviously I speak Chinese, so I should get in on that. But I do Amazon. I've sent in probably 50 FBA shipments. I still have basically just some clearance stuff from Walmart and Home Depot, which used to be on my route. But I just enjoy thrifting more. But I do really want to get into Etsy. I want to make one thing for Etsy. And I only have a couple of shirts on merch, but there's so many. I need to, what I would like to do is, for me to fully commit to something, I have to commit to like a season of it. So for example, when I started YouTube, my girlfriend was like, make sure it's fun, do a few episodes a week, but do it for the whole year. I was like, okay. And I think Glenn has a similar story with merch he can share, but like, I really like the idea of doing something, giving yourself a chance for it to work. And I haven't had that I haven't designed the season yet for my other things, but go ahead, Glenn.
I agree on that one.
Or go ahead.
I give myself 2 years on anything that I try.
Yeah, and I think also with watching YouTubers and following people on Instagram, you have to make the decision for yourself and figure out what's working for you, and just kind of like block out. Like if you see someone, I don't know, making like 100,000 on FBA, and then you're like, oh man, I need to get into FBA now. And then you see someone making a bunch of money on merch, like, oh, I need to get into merch now. You know, focus on what you like. That's like the most important part of it, because if you like it and you have the, excitement and passion for it, then I know you will succeed in it, rather than following what other people are doing, and getting like, impressed from Instagram posts or people posting, crazy numbers and stuff like that. I think that it's good to also look into it. Maybe it's something you want to do, but I wouldn't just, do it because other people are doing it. I would really do what you want to do.
I mean, I think that's one of our edge between me and Glenn with selling Ross Finds, Burlington, TJ Maxx, or Nike Outlet, is because like we are really into shoes and we're into like sports apparel and stuff like that. So that's why when times are really tough, just that one find, and all of a sudden we get super excited again.
It's the treasure hunt.
Yep.
What's up, Bonafide Hustler in the chat? Shout out to the Green Room. They got me into the reselling thing. Always highly recommend it. I am still a Green Room member, so if you guys want to level up, this is a little off topic, but I'm a big fan of paid groups just in general. So I'm in a bunch of them, and I appreciate what people do. Putting out content is not easy, so I also encourage you guys to start making content yourself. And the same thing, give yourself a chance for it to work. Put out some content and do it because you like it. And if you like it, you have a better chance to stick with it. And then a final thought is, sometimes like I worry about people who are passionate about things that maybe are not monetizable. So like, do your passion. Hopefully you can still do it even if it doesn't make money, just so you can really get to that level. For example, a lady was saying, Chris, my son's really passionate about Minecraft and he does well with it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little different than if he was passionate about Minesweeper. Minesweeper is not as popular, very small audience. I don't know if he could monetize that, right? But if you're looking at a huge topic, it's like, oh, I'm passionate about reselling gold. You're probably going to do okay because it's a really good market. So, just make sure that if you become passionate about something, that give yourself a chance to, have some home runs in the category you're talking about. In my opinion, if you're in a category where there are home runs like Nike or dress shoes or anything hype beast related, you're going to hit once and do really well. And it'll give you the motivation to really dive deep. I love Minesweeper too, but I don't know if my second Minesweeper channel will work.
Hey, who knows? That might be something. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, there's somebody I know like Crochet, and I think she has a YouTube channel. I think this is one of video influencers a channel. I mean, if you are really good at it and if you really love it, put it out there because I know unless it's something illegal, somebody will love it too. You know, so put it out there. I mean, you know, like marijuana. Like who's that guy that rolls blunts? That's making crazy money out of it. I mean, I'm sure he's in California. It's probably Chris's friend.
But that's important to roll blunt. That's a very valuable skill.
I know, but like blunts are just like over the top, like helicopters. Like it was just like something like it's to a point like that's just crazy, right, to some people. But he made an art out of it.
Yeah, especially if it's illegal, then hey, that will get some hits too.
It's true.
It doesn't have to be legal.
It doesn't have to be legal. But I do want to say one more thing on strategy. When we're watching strategy, guys, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the way to develop or to deliver the largest amount of value. That's what we're looking for. Like when I'm watching video influencers, they explain how to deliver content concisely and consumably in the way that people want to consume it. So for example, like I'm in Video Creators Patreon, and Tim Schmoyer said, this is what you should do. You should make some videos that are only community based because those are important. You need to talk to your fans, make sure they're happy. You should also make videos that are informational based only. So people go and get the information and they can go back to work. And there's topics like right now, which are both, right? And then also he said, make sure once in a while you promote only a sales video, because if people pay you, then you can do it longer. You can do it for a longer period of time. You can get better equipment, and maybe you can produce more series, more collaborations. So he broke it down into the strategy for me and said, your audience will let you know if you do too much of one or too much of the other, and listen and always reply to comments. So it's, for me, I'm like, okay, teach me how to give the most value. And that's what I'm looking for in these strategy things. And, you know, I think we all do the same thing.
Yeah, I think giving value is number one, but I'm also looking at like what, like I think of like hustler hacks here, and I'm thinking like, what can I build underneath that still makes sense in this niche, but it delivers it like in different ways. So the Wednesday show, we can do live videos. It's like part of it. It's like, okay, cool. Wednesday show, it's live. We can interact and talk to everybody. And then Mondays, it's like, okay, Merch Minds podcast. It's about making money with merch. That's cool. It falls under it. And then Out Hustled is like we're meeting people in real life, and we have, it's kind of like its own little mini series, I guess you would say, of traveling going there. And then Ross Finds of the Week, which is like its separate thing, but it still relates to it because it's like part of the Ross Finds. And then now Thursday, I'm doing like no edit Thursdays where I just go to stores and there's no edits, just the full long thing. So it's kind of like different parts within the same network, brand, I guess you would say. Yeah.
And also, you guys watch out before we end this. I just want to tell everybody, the 144 people, next Wednesday live is going to be something very different that no one has ever done before.
So snap.
And are going to go live next Wednesday. One of a kind live video. So you guys need to watch out.
Yeah, trying to give away some big bucks. So
for sure.
And I also want to point out that when you are making shows for people to consume, it's easy for us to do it. So, you know, Ross Finds of the Week, if that's the only part of Glenn's channel you want to watch, then you can tune in at that time and get into the series and the shows. I've had great success with shows. Like I just did one with Tech and Sports on how to do specifically a clothing business. I have a mastermind calls that I post publicly, and you guys can see what those are all about. I also encourage you guys to make your own group. I mean, these two guys literally called me out because I do not specifically have an accountability partner in life. So like that is huge. That's why you need friends. You need a network so you can get people to call you out and say, hey, check it out. Make sure that you're doing the right thing. You're moving forward. Let's see here. But yeah, as far as people are saying here, they love specific shows. That's key, you know, and it's hard to and we're making content also to diversify our audience and make sure we're helping a lot of different kinds of people.
I mean,
Yeah, because like the merch finds podcast. Like sometimes I'll get emails that are like when are you gonna talk about merch again? Because there was a time where like I didn't even talk about it for a good while because I was busy without hustled and doing that. Like when are you gonna talk about merch again? And I'm like, yeah, I need to get back into it. And then like I put like a merch video, and then I met some guy. He works at Ross, and I saw him there, and he's like, yeah, every time you post those merch videos, like I just skip them. Like I'm just ready for Ross Friends of the Week on Friday. I just thought it was hilarious.
No, yeah, people like, what happened to you? Where is it? Like I had a 30 tip video that stopped at 4, and people are like, I'm waiting for the other 26. Hurry up. So it's like you have to, you should always over deliver. Also, if I love getting a free bonus at the end of anything, so make sure you over deliver. And the people who are interested in your Merch Minds podcast, that may be the only thing that they deliver. And again, this is so cool. Running different series is great because, I don't really watch TV anymore at all.
Right.
And when my girlfriend's favorite live comes on, we watch it together. Same with me. She watches it with me. We literally interrupt our day to check out people that we enjoy talking to. And can you imagine like interrupting Suits and like talking to the actor? That doesn't work. Like you can't interrupt the actor on TV. They can't hear you. So this is very interesting.
The Bee, he's gonna say something.
Jennifer said, my schedule is crazy. It's hard to find an accountability partner. If so, we're online now. If worst case scenario, find somebody in a different time zone. Like I am a late person. It's like dawn here already at my time, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and they're just winding out their day. So, they're definitely out there. Look into it. I talked to my parents at like 6 a.m., 6 to like 7 a.m. in the morning because it's 7 p.m. at night in the Philippines. So, the technology just makes everything better. Keep seeking out. You'll definitely find your accountability partner.
Ray says that it's himself. That doesn't work. That is not an accountability partner.
That's definitely hard. I'm gonna be like, you're fine, Ken. You can sleep till 10 today, Ken. And Ken will be like, yeah, I like that too, Ken. That's gonna be.
There's only one thing you can do that counts, and that's the right now self talking to your future self. Maybe, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, even then, it's tough.
Your accountability partner, your wife and 3 kids. Agreed. No, there's an argument that if you have a family, you don't need friends.
That's a whole lot of responsibility there already. And if like as far as time would concern, I could only imagine how much time you are actually really, how much time is consumed just around a family.
I also want to give you guys one statistic that's really scary, which is 95% of your time with your kids is spent before the age of 17. So that is insane. Can you imagine that? Like, you better spend some time with your kids. Like, take a step back because they're going to be gone. And that's just like a fact of reality or a part of life. So if you have kids, spend time with them because they're going to be gone.
Unless you're like me and you just milked it with the parents till you're like 20, whatever, and then they're like, when is this kid getting out of here? He's like a grown ass man now, and he's like still here.
Jeff, what up, Jeff? See, Jeff is here. He's probably busy with his kids. That's why he just got on the live.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, no have time for friends. Like, again, that's the thing. The most common question I get is, how can I parent faster? So I don't know. I don't think you can. You can't add more. See, this is the thing people try to do. They try to get by adding stuff to their day, and it doesn't work. You have to remove something out of your day to have more time to work on something specific. And Warren Buffett says you make 2 lists. what you want to do and what you need to do. And the want to do list, you burn it and you stay as far away from it as possible. And if you really want it, put it on the need list. And I think people always hope, oh, one day I'll get to the want list. He's like, no, you will never get to your want list. And as an example for him, he's like, I don't invest in tech. You don't think I want to invest in tech? Of course I want to invest in tech. But it's like, I just have so much other stuff I need to do first. And if I focus there, I'll be fine. So even though the greatest investor in the world doesn't hit these 10,000x returns, he's still the best investor ever.
There's so much land that he could still buy.
So, right. Yeah, exactly. Parent fast.
That's interesting.
That's
true.
That's definitely. I mean, that would be fun. I mean, all three of us would want to be a parent someday, and we need to revisit this talk down 10 years from now with kids climbing on her back, like, who's that? That'd be funny. And then we can share how to parent.
I have seen eBay listing parties where it's a play date for the kids and they're helping people list. I've seen play dates thrifting. It's interesting. This reselling community is a community. If you wanted to work on merch, you could probably find somebody in your area now that can work on merch at the same time and your kids can play together. That's not out of the world. It can happen these days.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that you can, especially like the like-minded people, get things done like that. But I don't know. I think it's because me and the wife have talked about kids too, and I just don't know like if and when and what would happen after that and how things like start. Now trying to balance, parenting and all that. I mean, that would be like, my number one. And then now it's like, what would I do with all the other stuff that I'm working on? So
that's probably when we don't hear from Glenn and me and Chris be like, hey, Chris, we might have to fly to El Paso. We haven't heard from Glenn for a week.
That's true. I'll have to come visit you.
I have like a big, like long beard. Like, look like straight out of Jumanji or something.
Just become a Jedi.
No, I think that kids also now, like, you can start e-commerce at such a young age that it's possible by the time you go to college and just pay your own tuition. That could be a thing.
Yep. And then by then, college probably won't be the same regular college now.
No.
It'd be like those selective courses like, things like Udemy, digital online courses that it's exactly specific skills. Like how they had vocational college like welding and everything like that. It could be like that specific to a certain kind of job that you're looking for. Or at the end of the day, everybody is like, I'm seeing that everybody will become a freelancer.
True.
They could just take on different projects. Like, like if I'm out of eBay or if I'm slowing down on eBay and you want to go out and, go for a 30-day trip, I could just be like, okay, Chris, I'll take care of your eBay while you're gone. I'll take a percentage.
And that,
because that's a skill that you have.
I feel like Harvard's going to be a pill that you eat.
Hear like an echo. I don't know if that was. Oh, I don't know what that was.
There was an echo.
Oh, okay. I think it's gone now.
No, I was just saying, the education is getting so good and so advanced now that you might be able to just download a PDF, and that's your whole college education. And because
inject it in you, you can inject it through blood.
You can just inject it because, like Prince, I've been networking with him a lot, and he just graduated in civil engineering, and he said, "I just graduated. I have zero idea how to be a civil engineer. I have to go do it now. Like, it's not the same thing. It has nothing to do with what I just learned."
Right.
I go to the job site and I'm like, I don't know how to do any of this. I've got to start from the beginning.
It's just college is just like a weird thing because it's like the only business that I know of that you cannot get a refund.
You can't get a refund. Yeah, you can't. You can't.
Like, it's the only business that I've ever known. Like, everyone else, like, hey, can you return this shirt? Can I return this toy?
It's the biggest scam.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I gotta drop this class. Yeah, it's like, man, what's going on here?
Yeah, you can't get a refund, and they ask you for money after you're done. So I mean, it's like a never ending thing. So
And then they use thing. They give you out stick.
I learned more about people than I did about business in business school. So, but I think that I'm not an anti-school. I'm not anti-college. I just think it's different.
Yeah, it's totally different. And I always tell my parents, like, hey, you
Yep.
guys had it easy though. You guys didn't have to go to school and pay student loans, and they think it's funny, but
Student loans are the next big crap. Oh, actually, you can't even file bankruptcy. They
yeah,
don't go
you're
away.
struggling
You
with
can't.
that.
You have to fake die. You have to die.
That's brutal. You have to fake die.
No.
That is not
That's the only
easy.
escape.
That is not easy. Well, you could probably learn how to do that on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, dude, somebody did it. Did you know that? There's an
Really?
article. Somebody did it. Yeah, she did, and then she like later. I mean, like after 7 or 8 years, she got. I mean, they. I mean, I think it's either she confessed or she got caught. But yeah, she did. She did. Fake die. It was a lady too.
Wow. That's insane. Fake die. You have to get a whole. I guess you could change your name, but nobody knew. They
Yeah,
call
I
you
mean
the same
that's what.
thing. But
Well, that's what she did. Like she faked and like she faked the whole thing, and then she went to a different. Basically, she just took on a different name and then went to a different city and everything like that. But yeah, that's the only way to get away from college student loans. Because I was this close to going to college here in the U.S. and I was glad that I did, because that would have been my headache now.
Or you can just, I don't know, turn into like Walter White and start selling meth or something. Like desperate time, desperate measures, or just
Yep.
or some like my buddy, he went to school at Columbia. He borrowed $254,000 for 3 years for a graduate school program, and it was like it's an 18 and a half year payback program.
dang.
And I was like, dude, that's insane. That's
Where?
like Columbia.
Oh, he borrowed it here and went to Colombia, or he
No,
borrowed.
or I'm sorry, Columbia University, New York. So
Oh,
yeah, he borrowed 252 to go there, include tuition, and then he's making as much as we do on eBay. So it's like that's insane. But the thing is, I guess he has potential to make a lot, but that's a very serious mortgage in a lot of areas of the U.S.
yeah, 18 years. That's a long time.
18
That's
years.
that's
is a long
half
time.
of your. That's half of. I mean, that's basically your prime years.
Yeah, you have a pretty good. There's some people who don't make it, so they do escape. That's a long, long time. 18 and a half years. And it even says that 18 and a half years. I'm like, that's like such an insult. You might as well say 19 years.
And I remember I
Yeah.
was like on the 10-year plan for the student loans. And I was like, man, to me, that was like, man, 10 years. I cut it down to 5 with the reselling stuff, and that helped a lot. But in my eyes, like 10 years was a lot. And even signing off, for the house is like 30-year mortgage. And I'm like, 30 years. I'm like, okay, how can I cut this down to like 10 or less?
Mm-hmm. Bitcoin
Yep. Yeah.
and spinners.
Yeah, invest in
Spinners.
Bitcoin now. In 5 years, you should be fine if it doesn't burst.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fine. I'll take that in.
So guys, we should be respectful of you guys' time. Thank you for staying so late. But yeah, we want to reiterate how important it is that everything is important. Everything is intertied. Your relationships, your business these days, work-life integration has become super, super important. It's really hard to not have it all tied together, in my opinion. Your friends oftentimes are the people who help you have the same goals. And I think it's very important to really reach out, make sure that you think about everything as a whole, and it really can help integrate and make everything work as one big unit.
Yeah, definitely. I want to segue too. Like whoever's watching here, we want to meet you guys, and that's where the Reseller Fam Live event in Kansas City will be. Chris has worked together with the team to make it better, to make it more affordable. $200 for the tickets. It'll be in Kansas City, and I mean, if you guys need reseller friends, we're definitely gonna be there, and I hope to meet all of you. And uh, follow at Hustle. We were able to. Glenn already did 700 when just flipping in our flip challenge, and so you guys could do it too. I mean, consider it as an investment. Consider it as a going to uh, going to a weekend getaway and learning and becoming friends with everybody, like how we became friends. So that could be your story too. It's just a matter of choice. Uh, Now that we've made it really affordable, I think if you guys really want to go, I think you guys could find a way.
Agreed. And we all met at a live reselling event also to show you the power of how far you can go in just a couple of months. Glenn, final thoughts?
I was gonna see if there's any like rapid fire Q&A, but I don't know if there's anything in there.
Let's do it. Do you guys want to do some Q&A? If you guys are in the chat, let's do a quick Q&A and see what you guys have to say. But definitely we'd love to see you guys in person.
Yeah, and in person for San Jose, LA, Portland. We're gonna go to Portland next month, and then Kansas City in March. And then after that, what else were we talking about, Ken? I think we were talking about Florida will be in there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do some
wow.
collaboration with Rally Roots.
Wow.
Florida, and then do like the DC area, and then it'll be time for the eBay Open. Well, I'll find a mansion to rent there where we can all stay and hang out.
When is San Jose? Oh, that would be that's next Monday actually already.
Yeah, next Monday.
See, we still meet up in Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta was also on our list.
Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely hit up Atlanta for sure. Let me see. How many sellable items should you expect to find on average thrifting trip? I mean, you can make. I've been to Goodwill. I'm not really good at thrifting, but I've always found at least 5 items there.
I would say you can find 5 to 10 items. Depends on if you're just a one category seller, up to 5. So be patient. I recommend you go to more stores and get less stuff. Spend more time sourcing, less time listing. I really do like the idea of going to Atlanta, potentially moving there. I haven't ruled it out as a place that I would move to.
Yeah, we're heavily considering Atlanta for sure. What about Cali? Cali, we're gonna be there next week. Basically, we're gonna be in San Jose Monday, and Thursday night will be on Whittier. South of LA. Thursday night.
We have to get Feel Good Finds to come down on Tuesday. I'll text Mary the info. There's 2 items over 40 per store. I think that sounds about right.
Yep.
Sounds about right. I don't know about Willpower. I'm gonna have to check them out on Instagram.
Yeah.
What are some hot items that are selling for me right now? This is the beautiful part about eBay. You can check to see if it's hot before you buy it.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to rent the biggest mansion ever for eBay Open.
Yeah.
I think every influencer on YouTube should just rent a building, a 40-bedroom mansion.
I'm gonna look into it now. Airbnb.
Let's see.
It's gonna be on Vegas. Did they have the dates yet?
No, they haven't announced it yet, but they're going to announce it earlier. And I'll introduce you guys to the eBay events lady, and she'll go over everything with you guys. I need to figure out how to do merch for eBay because there's just so much, like so many people want eBay stuff. So.
Oh yeah, big time.
Vegas. Yeah, I gotta meet Wade. Wade's been out there. I talked to him. And one more thing for you guys as far as networking. If you can get on a text message basis with people, that is huge. I text Wade all the time. So you can get to the level where you actually know somebody. When I meet Wade for the first time, I'm gonna know him. Like, we've shared a lot of stuff with each other. It's very important.
Oh crap! I found a luxurious 5-bedroom near Las Vegas Strip. Sleeps 18 people.
Ooh.
Got a pool table.
Wow.
Whole shebang. Oh, there's this one too. Like has a waterfalls. 17 guests at a home theater.
17 guests. That's insane.
Oh, that's
wow.
Good. People. So, yep, there's a lot of them. Yep, there's one that has like palm trees and infinity pool.
You have to have the infinity pool, but I'll sleep in the bathtub. I'll take one for the team as long as we can get everyone in the same place.
Dude, give me an air mattress. I'll float.
Mm-hmm.
I'll float the pool.
Yeah, I've checked out Wade's channel. I'm actually not on Wade's channel yet, but he's been on mine. What's the advantage of having two stores? Maybe two different categories, or maybe you have two premium stores at 1,000 items each for $120 instead of $300 for the anchor store.
Yeah, but if you're up there already, I would just go for a anchor store.
Just go for it. Yeah, I agree.
You'll have the eBay. What was that, Chris?
The concierge.
The concierge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm heavily looking into it.
Susan says she is struggling with 3 eBay stores. By the way, guys, you can call eBay and ask for help, especially in the anchor store, because in the anchor store, the concierge, all of the people in customer service actually sell on eBay. So you can ask them specific questions to give you strategy ideas, which I think is very unique because I don't think you can call Amazon and ask for help like that, or Etsy.
Yeah, Amazon, you're kind of pushing it. You're just trying to get an answer at some point.
You're just trying to get an answer. Good call.
Just need a reply.
Yeah, you're pushing it. We're trying to get some help.
Our reply says we're currently reviewing your request.
Yeah.
I know, they have no time.
Yeah. There you go.
But
Didn't know you could rent mansions.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Airbnb right here.
There you go.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Hustlebee is going to be kind of like Ty Lopez out there. Like, hey,
for
guys,
sure.
check it out.
Now we gotta rent the cars. Now we gotta rent the car. We're gonna spoof Ty.
That's true. We got to go thrifting in a Lamborghini. That's part of the Vegas experience.
Oh, for sure.
I can only fit 4 items in this car, but that's okay. I didn't pay for the gas, but let's see. Oh, merch is Glenn. Maybe you can explain what merch is.
Okay, so Merch by Amazon is their platform. It's maybe like 2 years old. You upload a design that they're going to print on a T-shirt, and your design goes live within an hour or two. Once it's live on Amazon, someone buys your T-shirt. Amazon will create the T-shirt. They print your design. They ship it out to the customer in 2 days, prime shipping, and they follow up with customer service. And it cost you $0. So I know it sounds kind of like too good to be true, but that's the way I kind of present it, because I'm like, yeah, you just upload designs. They do all the rest of the work after that.
Well, and apply now because it takes a while to get approved.
Yep,
Yeah, it'll be like 3 months on the low end.
Still haven't get approved.
Oh, wow. People are listing all kinds of stuff. Guys, I really, really, really love social media. You meet so many cool people. This lady just sold her wedding dress as her first item.
Wow, that's a good
Wow. I know.
That's some serious hustle right there to start off.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife to do that. She got mad.
She got mad.
Said, what about this?
Oh man.
Maybe later.
Yeah, speaking of other platforms, guys, I'm learning a little bit about Amazon affiliates. So I do rental cars. So I have rental cars in this area that I rent out to other people. And I made a video about the rental cars. and other people rent their cars through my rental video, and I make a commission every time somebody signs up a new car. So affiliate income is really interesting too. If you were to review the best, and people read your review, and you have an Amazon link, and they can go online and purchase, and you get a cut of it. There's a lot of different ways to make money now, and I'll tell you, I really went hard after I saw Reezy Resell's video. Like, it's 2017. If you're not making money on the internet, what's wrong with you, or something. I saw that video, and it motivated me to get on social and learn about all of it. I'm based in the Bay Area. Ken, you still in Cincinnati?
Yep, still in Cincinnati.
Glenn, you are in El Paso?
El Paso, Texas.
Nice.
Which I don't know if people know where that is, but where?
Yeah. So just one quick tip on where consider that Chris lives in like one of the most expensive cities. So Glenn sent me this link, and I think it was like the top 10 states that you don't have to make $1 million to live like a millionaire. And I was laughing so hard because El Paso, Texas was there.
Wow.
And on the bottom of the list, Cincinnati, Ohio was there.
Wow.
So we probably should only make $200,000 a year, and we'd be feeling like a millionaire here.
No, it's expensive. Oakland's expensive.
Yeah.
Honolulu. What's up, Jason? That's pretty far.
Yeah, but I found a Airbnb that sleeps 20 already.
20 is perfect. 20 resale. Like, it would be so interesting going to the thrift store with 20 resellers.
And then hire videographers, hired like video people to just video what we do there. And then hopefully they'll edit it good enough or something that it'll make it to Netflix.
What happens when you cram 20 resellers in a house?
I'll probably be coming back from one night. I have like 60 boxes of Nikes.
They'll have like Bonafide there, like working out and like
don't mess with my room, you know. Chris be floating on the pool meditating.
That's right. Meditation, writing in my 5-minute journal, listening to Tim Ferriss. I will be there. Can't wait. Also, guys, more revenue streams. You could do a podcast. There's so much you can do, and it's all related. Just get out there, make stuff, create content.
For sure. 20
resellers at one Goodwill. That's not going to work very well. We'll try. It might be a little bit competitive.
Yep. Don't worry. I'll leave you all. I'll drop you off in the Goodwill in my Lamborghini.
Perfect. Well, that's perfect. If we rent 20 Lamborghinis, and we thrifted all day, we still wouldn't be able to fill them up.
That would be epic. That would definitely make the news. The richest business people in Las Vegas.
For sure. They flip junk on the internet. Let's find out how. And they'll fall and they'll be like, what? You guys sell t-shirts on Amazon? What are you talking about? So a lot of people don't know this exists. Like, when people ask me, has the ship sailed? I'm like, the ship's not even built.
Yeah, nobody even knows. Like, nobody
it's not even built.
Are like, yeah. I mean, like, my parents look at me like it is just too crazy on, you know, like I told them how much I sold last year and how much is in the apartments. Like, they just laugh. Because like it's just something that, you know, like the previous generation haven't really seen. I mean, they've heard about it, but to be friends with somebody or to be, you know, like their son doing it, that's crazy. That's crazy for them.
Mostly Aloha style. You see, in Hawaii is interesting because they can ship first class mail on priority and it still counts. They're still technically a state. So is Alaska.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Hawaii is awesome. Like I ship a lot of stuff in Hawaii, but I noticed it doesn't say 2-3 day. It just says priority. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Usually it says priority 2 day, priority 3 day, and then I shipped one recently. It just says priority. Maybe it takes longer.
Way longer than you
I'm not sure.
expect. That's what it would be on the bottom.
Yeah.
Trying to see the other comments coming in.
Mighty
People
Mushroom,
still
what's
here.
up?
128 people still watching. I wonder
Wow,
what
guys, you guys need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Actually, no, stay here and hit the like button first, then go to sleep. Let's
Right.
see.
97 likes.
Corey is in Portland, I believe, as well, too. So there's so many reseller events. It's tough to go to all of them, but we want to meet everybody.
For sure.
Alaska. Listening and listing. Yeah, a lot of people list. Guys, we did the listing party, and that was like mind-blowing. Like Hustlebee was out there sourcing. People were taking photographs. People were researching. It's like, what are you selling? Hot dog costume. What are you selling? Christmas ornaments. It was like
What's that, like Lilo and Stitch costume?
Lilo and Stitch costume. $80 or something.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, wow. You ever flip porcelain stuff? I flipped a polar bear cookie jar to Switzerland. $80 plus shipping.
Did it make it?
They made it. She sent me a picture. That's another cool thing about eBay. She's
Yeah,
like, it safely made it to Switzerland from Oakland. That's insane.
That's pretty cool. Do you go sourcing at a meetup or just hang out and talk? I mean, mostly it's just hang out. I mean, we source during the day because it'd probably be really. I mean, we'd probably cost traffic if we all source.
We did meet up at we met up at Ross at the Chicago meetup.
Chicago.
Yeah, we had like 8 to 10 people that showed up there, and we were kind of like in a little crowd, kind of just in a circle talking.
People
and yeah, one guy, his name was Danny. Like, remember his shoes, like the alarm thing went off. Remember?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
he found some finds, and while we were talking, I guess he was like shaking it too much, and all of a sudden it starts beeping, and we were all there in a circle, and like everybody's like, "What the crap are these people doing? Like taking off the tags in a circle?"
Yeah, like I saw a lady kind of like cover her kid or something. Like, oh, let's go over here. So I was like, what are these guys planning? Or so like going to one store does get a little weird.
A Ross takeover, or like trying to like try to raid a Ross, or like rob a Ross.
No, I saw that there was like 100 people who went into a Best Buy wearing a blue polo.
Why?
Because they were robbing it.
Oh,
and they filled the store with Best Buy people. Like everyone was wearing a blue polo.
Oh, because like that's their uniform.
And they shut down the store, and no one could. They'll like one by one leave. Hey, shout out to James for the super chat of $4. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. James, I think you're up in Sacramento. You should come down for the meetup next week. I think you already are, but.
Oh, that's crazy. That's actually a smart idea. Just everybody wear a uniform, and then nobody will know.
Let's see. Ooh, yeah, I don't know where we want to meet in Florida, but I kind of want to meet Tekken Sports. He's in Pompano Beach, and then Rally Roots, obviously, down there.
Tampa, right? Tampa. Orlando. I mean, a lot of people are on Orlando, too.
James is in Virginia.
Maybe we could meet in Disney World there or something.
Mm-hmm. Coal City, what's up? I like how you added Lauren so people know you, but like
oh yeah.
Callie's World's in the chat. Callie, I need to have I have a Callie named James. That's who I'm gonna start calling Callie. And I want them to have a conversation and see what it's like working in the big mess of eBay/Amazon.
What did I win?
See. St. Petersburg, Florida. St. Petersburg, Florida, or St. Petersburg, Russia? You gotta be specific. It's really far.
Tennessee.
Wow. Tennessee, wow.
Also, I just learned about this. I was kind of ashamed that I just learned about this recently. But the other Nike employee store is in Memphis, Tennessee, because that's where their warehouse is at.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not too far away from me. It's only like 6-hour drive. So I might go there.
Lauren, what is Coal City? Go ahead.
He's gonna go there, but not tell anybody.
That's right.
Oh, for sure. I'll tell you when I get back what I find. No, nobody knows where I go. I just go rogue, and then people just start sending me a message. Were you here recently? Were you here? Were you here? It's like, maybe, because I just don't know.
Is Coal City really Chicago? That's a weird name. I thought it was the Windy City. She should be Windy City Loot. That'd be much more clear. I wouldn't have to ask.
I didn't know that.
Let's
Nobody
see.
knew that. Maybe it's a Chicago thing.
I've heard they have great estate sales.
Oh, Chicago. Yeah, we know. We know a guy.
You know a guy.
We know a guy's killing it. Come to San Jose. Oh, he's this.
That's young. Yeah.
I was like, I saw the photos. Like, I recognize this guy. I just followed him. I just followed him today.
Oh, Cole's a part of her last name. Oh, that's very clever. I like it.
So it's just basically city loot.
It's the city loot, yeah.
Would you rather employ a virtual assistant to do sourcing, or if so, how would you go about it?
Yeah, there's a guy in my mastermind that a VA scans OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, everything, and puts it into a spreadsheet with the phone number, what it's selling for on eBay, what it's selling for on Amazon, and then emails them to ask what time they can meet. So when he wakes up, he just calls. He and his wife drive around, and they basically try to double their money every day and spend $1,000 a day. And I was like, whoa.
That's exciting.
That's exciting. That's a cool husband and wife team, but they don't like doing the research part. They only want to do the buying part.
I mean, they definitely built a structure around it.
Yeah. And they also do the I've heard this multiple times. If it's a guy trying to sell it, she'll call. If it's a girl, he'll call.
Yeah.
Work that magic.
That's me and my wife when we go to the Nike outlet.
Mm.
When I ask for something, I look for a lady, and if it's a guy that's kind of like assigned in the area, my wife asks for something, and yeah, it's like 90% of the time I get turned down, and then the opposite sex gets favors. So you gotta do the mental, because it's hard to be rude to the opposite gender.
It's true.
Yeah, and then a dude could size me up automatically, like, who's this guy wearing like a size 9 shoes? So,
and a Warriors cap.
No Warriors hat. No, dude, I know, dude. I've worn this for I think I've worn this like for 2 straight weeks, and I've had so many hate that I had to like wear my Ohio State hat.
And then they just
you can't wear it there.
No, you can't.
Lauren, I did join Poshmark. I'll have 100 listings up by Friday. So but my virtual assistant is going to do it. So all I have to do is just show him how to use it, and he will do it for me. So I'm very excited about.
Yeah, that I
10K on the Posh. 10K on the Posh.
That's something I need to get a system for cross posting.
I need to pick my name. Right now it's Daily Refinement, but I may have to email them and change it to. The best name was Sweet and Sour Posh. Was the best name that somebody gave as the name. So Pish Posh Applesauce, also very good. I like both of those names. Tekken Sports, or Mary's trying to get Tekken Sports to come incognito to the Reseller Fam event. That would be cool. Nobody knows what he looks like. I've had 6 podcasts with him, and I don't know what he looks like, and I don't know his name. So he's done a great job of staying secret. 10K on the mark is good too.
That would be fun. I mean, that would be definitely fun, because like when we first did the meetup in Chicago, nobody knew who anyone was. Like, like, I'm Ken, the Hustle Bee.
Right.
Like everybody knows you by your Instagram handle, but
I know it's a little weird.
Yeah.
You know
and
what's
then, like,
go ahead.
Chris? I mean, like, I know everybody calls you just 10K.
Yeah, I know. But when you meet people, they'll start with a conversation because you said something in one of your videos and you don't know what video they're talking about and you don't know who they are. So it's like, hey, you remember when you were talking about this? Well, this is what I think. I'm like, I don't know. Who are you? So it's very hello, like it's crazy because they listen to you potentially for hours
Mhm.
and you don't even know their name.
Yeah.
So
And then some of them don't show their face on Instagram, so we could never recognize who is who.
that's true. You always thought Florida was where people go to die. Wow, that is very morbid. There's a lot of old people in Florida, but that's not where they go to die. they do it.
It's like that the elephant story. They just go to like a burial place.
True. True. I'm in Florida, but not dead yet. I love it.
Not yet. Whoa, Callie said whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's some people there. There's Callie and Rally.
There are live people there. Yes, there are live people there.
There's at least three. There are at least three that we know. I mean, we know Carlos, the other one. So there's four. One in Orlando, three in Tampa.
Arizona is really old. I want to go. I want to meet Radseller. You met Radseller. I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, she came to the meetup we had. Jeff was there, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was cool. I like Phoenix area. It's really really nice, clean, and
It's hot though.
it is super hot. But I guess I just got used to it being so hot here that I was like, it's kind of the same.
Well, there's a lot of questions all of a sudden.
I'm in Florida. Yes, they die. Equals the states.
Is it offensive to have Republic as part of your store name? No, one of my good friends has a store called California Republic.
Yeah, that's like Banana Republic. That's
Banana Republic. Yeah, there's not offensive here.
Pineapple Republic.
Pineapple Republic.
All right.
Yeah, and the store that I was talking about that has a $1,000 ASP is Pineapple Express 1. So it's not that professional. Or Pineapple Express 15 or something. So you don't need a fancy name to sell on eBay.
No, like that model. I mean, you reviewed it. What was that? Indy and Bella's closet.
Yeah, Indian Bella's closet.
Indy dot and dot Bella dot closet dot.
Yeah, I know. It's like it doesn't matter.
No, the funny thing is, they actually tried to buy one of my items, so I didn't know what to do. Bill it. So I didn't. They offered me $10 lesser than what I was asking. I was like, I don't know what they're trying to do, so I just didn't respond. I was starstruck for a moment.
What advice would you give people to like come up with their own name for YouTube or Instagram or like influencer name?
I could give you some advice because that's how I came up with my name.
Mm-hmm.
I would say go try to find a character first that would actually kind of like mirror your personality. I was called like a bee growing up because I could never stay put. I was the most. I had the least time on my seat. I always was moving around. So they called me. You just can't stay put. You're just like a bee. I was like, ooh, a bee. So like going back to that. I think characteristics would be something really cool to associate yourself with. And I mean 10K too, like that's a goal, right? That's a goal that you set.
I had no idea. Somebody in the green room named me. They sent him a bottle of whiskey. So, I was like, I need to come up with a concept. And then they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to build a big store. And then we just talked back and forth. All of a sudden, 10K on the bay. Then I hired Glenn to make my logo. It's one big circle. One big circle. All the banners, all the information, all Glenn all the time.
Alrighty. Man, we went over.
Way over. Thanks, guys, for staying this late.
Almost. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's past Glenn's and Chris's bedtime now.
That's true. I'm a grandpa. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming.
For sure. again, just want to invite everybody to come to the Reseller Fam live event. I mean, there's still 128 people watching. That's amazing. We want to meet you
Come,
guys.
come.
We want to meet you guys. We'll hang out. Whoever's watching this, I'll buy you a coffee once we get there, or I'll buy you a
Yes.
nice.
Buy you a drink.
Yeah, Chris will buy you a drink. So let's go. Just mention this night that we invited you and we wanted to buy you something.
Mhm.
We'll see you there. We'll definitely have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk around, chill around, and we're gonna learn from each other.
Yeah, at the very least, you can meet us in San Jose or LA.
That's right.
But we
or
must
Portland
meet.
or Florida. We must meet, all of us.
Yep.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm buying
See
you
you soon.
coffee. Sure. See ya. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.